Time is one of the most valuable things on Earth. It's the one thing we all can't get more of. Despite this, I took 3 years of my life to create a fan game. Today, I'll be sharing my experience, what I've learned, and what I wish I would have done differently. Watch through until the very end to know my biggest regret. A very long time ago, while I was still in high school, I wanted to create a brony fan game inspired by the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show. Many of the ideas I had were much too big for what I could actually pull off. A 3D open-world action-adventure game, Zelda-inspired, with plenty of minigames to play around the world. All made in my very own game engine from scratch. Fair to say, I was getting in a little more than I could handle. But many of the mechanics and concepts I had for the project have turned into smaller game ideas focused on each individual idea. But that's a story for another day. Long story short, I ended up making a fan game for content creator Brutal Moose, Ian McLeod, based off of his web series Televoid. Made in C from scratch in my own game engine with plenty of minigames. A simple point-and-click game. What could possibly go wrong? Why did I start? What did I learn? What did I regret, and why did I continue working on the project despite the massive obstacles that I faced? Before we start, fair warning, there will be massive spoilers to Brutal Moose's Televoid series. I suggest watching it spoiler-free. It's not that long, with only 6 episodes, each lasting between 15 and 30 minutes. 3 years ago, Televoid would release its final episode, where the protagonist enters a mysterious door. We never learn what's beyond, and so I thought, what better opportunity than to reformat my MLP fan game ideas into a new Televoid fan game project. I knew Ian was a fan of games within games, odd little indie games, and humongous entertainment. What better for my first big project? The ideas that came from my MLP fan game project were actually pretty solid, and once I executed on my plan, it went surprisingly well. For instance, my main plan to get anyone interested in any production of mine is to show I'm serious about the project. There's no better way to do this than to make a solid prototype before anything. People don't care about words, they want to see results. Now, my artistry skills are not the best, but I can do something. I knew the brony community was filled with creative people, so I was pretty sure I would have found the help the project needed. Executing this plan for Televoid out of the loop, I was no longer 100% sure, but I had a pretty good feeling that creative people watched Brutal Moose. And, well, lo and behold, the project had a decent team of people excited to work on it. The problem is that I've never been a project manager before. Slightly younger me was very stubborn and would let his pride get the best of him. There was no way I'd use an already existing game engine. I had to use my very own. The number of technical issues this created is ludicrous. I was fixing problems that had nothing to do with the game. Oh, what's this? There's no audio engine? Guess I'll build my own using OpenAL. And why not make my own .wav file loader too? How else would I be able to play music and sound effects? It's hard to say that I regret this decision, because I'm very happy for what I learned. I now have a deeper understanding of game engines and computer science in general. I'm very happy I learned C. It's now my favorite programming language that I'm sure to use for many future projects. Just probably not video games. While I was working on all that, the team and I wrote a buttload of concepts and ideas, drew up some concept art and whatnot. It was the most fun I had during the project, but I feel like I've disappointed everyone by taking so long to create some features and fix bugs. I mean, by the time the game was functional, 78% of the team was already gone. They became silent and simply left, and I don't blame them. I regret being so stubborn. I could have easily found another project to learn C, but instead, I was going down with my ship and bringing the crew down with me. A mistake I'm sure not to repeat in the future. Honestly, I felt like giving up after the first year and the second year. One of my friends, Felix, was a big motivator for me. I don't think I could have finished a project if it wasn't for his motivational words pointing out how many projects I started and how many I actually finished. I think it's important to surround yourself with people like that. People who want to see you succeed, but will also give you their unbiased opinion. I had to finish this project. I made a promise to him, to myself, and to the rest of the team. I shall not make everyone's efforts be for naught. A promise to finish what I started. With years of stress, anger, and frustration, I pushed through. The game actually looked like it was going to be completed after all. I set up a release date for Ian's birthday and simply willed my way into finishing the game. After releasing the game, thinking the fight was over, people started reporting that the Windows version crashed. You see, I use GNU Linux, and actually compile the Windows version from there. But I don't get many opportunities to test out builds on real Windows machines. Though we did test a bit before launch, all seemed to work fine then, it just seems that sometimes it doesn't. Hooray! More stress caused by my game engine. Honestly, I just wanted this project to be over. A programmer friend of mine graciously helped me for 3 sleepless nights fixing half of the codebase. After patching everything up, we had a game that was held together by glue. At least it didn't crash anymore, for the most part. I managed to notify Brutomoose about this game, and it would seem that he thought it was pretty rad. Though he didn't play it yet, he did make a blog post on his website. I can't tell you how amazing it is to have someone who you watch and admire actually talk about something you've made. And in quite the positive light too. It really made my month. As of the recording of this video, the game has 301 downloads. I do wish more people would have seen the game by now. During development, I made devlog videos that you can check out here. But despite my efforts, I was unable to really, quote-unquote, market the game. No one really knows it exists. Nonetheless, I'm happy. I'm happy I had this experience, as I've learned a lot, both technically and in the world of project management. I would like to thank everyone who participated in the project for putting up with my long development times and contributing to the project, even if only a little. For future projects, I might want to focus less on tackling every single technical challenge that comes my way, especially if I'm working in a team, and focus more on getting the project known during development, which I can do by letting you know that you can subscribe and ring the bell for more videos like this one. Have you ever been through something like this? Let me know how you dealt with the situation with a comment, or simply type toodaloo to say farewell to my seemingly foredoomed project, and I'll reply to your comment letting you know how truly important you are to me. After going through such an adventure and growing as much as I did, I can't wait to see where I'll be a year from now, and hopefully you'd like to follow along. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.